Your baby doesn't love you anymore.
Now the 1-1. And he does bunt up the first base side. It's going to score the run. Valentin throws to first in time to get Belliard.
It hurts. I mean, it's going to hurt for a while. It's probably going to hurt for a long time. It's going to hurt all the way till we get back next year. At least I am.
As Molina goes to second and the Cardinals tie it 1-1.
Golden days before they end.
I don't look at who was 0 for this, 0 for that, or 10 for 20 for that matter. You know, the bottom line is, as a team that you play against, and their team was a little bit better than us this time around.
Whisper secrets to the wind. Your baby won't be near you anymore.
The first pitch to Molina. Swing and a fly ball hit to deep left field. Chavez going back. He's at the wall. It is gone. A 2-run homer into the Cardinal bullpen by Yadier Molina.
It's always tough when you get a close ball game, and we're fighting tooth and nail to win a ball game, and you want to go out there and give your team a chance to win.
And the Cardinals have taken a 3-1 lead.
Your baby doesn't want you anymore. It's over.
The 0-2 pitch, curveball in there, strike 3 called. The St. Louis Cardinals have won the 2006 National League Pennant, and they hustle out of the dugout to mob each other behind the pitcher's mound.
We kept telling ourselves, if we get to October, we'll be a dangerous club to play.
A stunning conclusion to a phenomenal season.
All the rainbows in the sky.
What matters is if you have a team that has heart and wants to compete 9 hard innings, and we got that, So we're gonna have a lot of fun here going to Detroit, and this is an ultimate dream. This is an incredible opportunity.
Start to weep, then say goodbye. You won't be seeing rainbows anymore.
The goal in a successful season is getting to the World Series and winning the World Series. To me, that's our goal. That's our standards. That's how we think. Disappointed not to get there. Of course, you're disappointed. You have to. For me, not only getting there, not winning the World Series is disappointing.
It's over. It's over. It's over.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 101.9 FM and Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan. Nothing can get by 'em, turn it on and try 'em.
Mike and the Mad Dog, WFAN.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? The Mike and the Mad Dog radio program on this very sad day for Met fans on this Friday, the 20th day of October. Good to have you aboard today. Mike and I will take it throughout the afternoon. I'm sure this topic will be here with us all weekend. Mike Sunday, me Saturday, with Eddie Schizzeri, of course, and Mark Malusis. We take you throughout the day with Yes and ROW later on. What can I tell you? 2 words, shocking and devastating for me, Mike. I'm shocked we're not sitting here getting ready for Game 1 of the World Series.
Doug, it was a long night, a wonderful game. And the 9th inning, especially when the Mets get first and second after the Molina homer in the top of the 9th, is why you like sports, is why you like being in the building. It's why you do sports, because that's as good as it gets. The place going absolutely berserk, first and second, trying to make the comeback, hope, anxiety, everything you could want. That's when there's nothing better than sports, right there. There's nothing better. That was I paid anything to sit there and just watch it. Now, it didn't work out the way the Met fans wanted. The Met fans were great last night. They were wild. They were loud. The place was crazy. It was a terrific, a weird but a terrific baseball game.
One of the great games you're ever going to see. You can't think of a greater game than that. That was an unbelievable baseball game. We'll go through all the scenarios here in a sec. Listen, the Met fan today is heartbroken.
Oh, devastated.
Mike not as much as the rest of us because he's won a million times, but for the most part, I can understand that. Heartbreaking.
Devastated.
To me, it's the worst loss in history of the organization. Mike's going to tell you, Socia, I think this is myself.
I think very close, dog. I think that team was better. I think that team.
But the Dodgers are better than the Cardinals,
right? But that team thought they were going to win the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree.
mean, they were,
and this team would not have beaten Detroit.
And this team, they knew they had some problems. But I think that was a better team, and that was a devastating loss. And it's so long ago now that you don't really think about it. But it was a devastating loss to the Dodgers. But I mean, this was terrible. Yep. It was a terrible, and I think everyone felt after two things that early on everyone felt good. And once Perez settled down and pitched so well, and he did pitch well, they felt good. And there's two things that gave you hope in the middle of the game that it was a Met night. One, the fact that he challenged Pujols and got away with it, and got the pop up with 2-1.
Yeah, it was big. I was surprised.
And
he did
then,
that.
of course, the play that I will say right now. People are going to bring up the AG catches, and if you want to argue the AG catches, and I saw the AG
Swoboda
catches.
too.
Okay, the Swoboda catch was a great. The AG catches were better, I thought, but the catch by Chavez last night was the greatest catch I've ever seen. Big spot. Now, you got to, this is not a Saturday in May, okay? So you got to take that into account. This is as great a catch. If the Mets won this game, this might have gone down as one of the 2 or 3 greatest catches in postseason history. I mean, this was as good a play has ever been made in a big baseball game. That's not a good catch. That is a catch for all time. That catch is that good.
It's hard to believe the Mets lost this game off that play.
And then had the bases loaded with 1 out in the inning. And you
Roland,
figure, Roland makes an amazing error for him. Gets a wet ball, I guess. Throws the ball in the stands. They have bases loaded 1 out, and Valentin can't hit the ball.
Yeah. I'm going to look at the big picture for a second. And I know the Met fan today wants to cherish this great season. He fell in love with this team. I understand all that. But this loss, this is unforgivable. You cannot lose this game. Okay, I'm going to tell you, as a sports fan to a sports fan, this team was not that good. This team will get mauled by the Tigers, I think. I've been wrong all the way through, but I think they will. This team won 83 games. You let them off the hook in Game 2. You didn't show up in Game 3. You got 2 runs in Game 5, and you did a terrible job last night. Now, I understand that you don't want to hear that today, and that's fair, because this has been a phenomenal season and a great team, and it's a lovable club, and they got good guys on it, and all those kinds of things. And you can't believe you have no more baseball this year, and so you're heartbroken. I understand that. But I don't know how Mike feels about it. I said to Mike the last 2 days. Now, Mike's going to probably go a little softer than I am. This league was bad. You had 14 more wins than this team did. You had no Yankees to worry about. You had a tremendous 10 days ahead of you. You own the town, back pages and front pages. You cannot lose this game. I'm sorry you can't do it. I know Jeff Supon's good, but he's not Bob Gibson. You cannot, under any circumstances, lose this series or a game. Now, I know that's harsh. I know you don't want to hear that right now, but that's how I feel. You didn't lose to a good team here. This team is not that good.
But they did lose
this team.
But I did lose again.
But they lost. But it's a series too. The whole series.
Yeah, they lost.
They didn't play that well in this series.
I mean, I think you take it back to start. If you want to go to square one, this was the year of the lock Subway Series. Neither team made the World Series.
It's hard to believe.
That starts number one. You go from there. Went to the Yankee disappointment, which was bitter and amazingly bad. I mean, stunningly bad. Okay. And then this, which was a very tough loss. I agree, tough loss. But they had an opportunity to have a World Series. They had an opportunity to have a special moment. They had a great season, but again, they had a chance for something legendary, something they could have lived off for a long time. Now, again, 2 weeks from now, they'll be building in the right direction. They did a lot of good things this year. But the point is, it is a stunningly tough
So you basically agree with that point? I was a little harsh there.
But, I mean, the idea they can't lose, I mean, I don't know what that means that they can't lose. Anyone can lose. But the point is, I mean, do I think it's going to somehow devastate? See, I think losses can devastate a franchise. This loss not going to devastate the Mets.
Well, it's a younger
team. The Yankee team, that loss could devastate the Yankees.
That's
it
fair.
almost did. You almost went. There's going to be big changes if they can do them.
Good point.
Some losses, the Mets 88 devastated the franchise.
Right.
This will not devastate the franchise.
But they will never, ever have an easier path to get to a World Series than this year.
No, I agree. This was a bad missed opportunity. And it won't devastate the franchise. because they're on the way up.
I agree with that. Well, they got
right.
Wright and Reyes. They got Beltran. They got a good manager.
And it's a learning experience. Wright was very bad.
Oh, Wright was terrible.
And the amazing thing here is, stunningly, it just shows you how peculiar baseball can be. Their two pitchers pitch, and they don't hit.
They lost the exact reverse.
Right.
Bullpen and hitting.
They
It's not
can't
the starting
hit. I mean,
pitching.
we sat there last night, and as Dog said, Supan's not Bob Gibson, but you wouldn't have known it by last night. Supan, who was the MVP clearly in the series, he gives up a late swinging single to Beltran, a bloop single to Wright for an RBI, and then doesn't give up a hit the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that is unbelievable.
Now, the only move that I don't like, and I'll throw it out and Mike can fight me off if he wishes, I have no problem with Harmon. I don't want to hear anything about that. That was the right move.
He had to pitch him 2 innings because you can't waste these guys 1 inning apiece. The game could have gone 14 innings. You needed Wagner to pitch 2 innings behind him.
Absolutely. Pitcher spots coming up.
Absolutely. Heilman had to pitch.
Had to pitch.
That is not an issue. I agree.
I think in that and I said it at the time.
I know. I knew where you're going when I watching the game. No, Doug, I don't even need to know that about you. I know you want. I know 2 people who I don't even have to talk to who wanted the bunt. You and my brother John, who loves the bunt. He is a bunting guy. Well, he believes in the bunt. My brother's a bunter because he always thinks bad. He always says bad, in big games, bad things happens when you bunt the other team. The other team has a lot of they throw bunts away. They do a lot of good things happen when you bunt. My brother is a huge bunt guy, so I didn't even talk to him today. I guarantee you, he's crazy they didn't bunt.
Well, listen,
and I knew you would want the bunt. And I knew that my brother wanted the bunt. I am not a big give-out-away guy, but I would tell you in that spot, I cannot fight you off at all. This is not a second guess. The problem I had about Floyd coming up was twofold. One, I understand they have no one else on that bench. One, if Floyd hits a ground ball there, it is an automatic double play. He can't run. Number 2 is the fact that Floyd is injured, and it was a rainy night, and it was a tough night to expect him to come off the bench and be heroic. And Floyd was thinking about hitting off the scoreboard. I mean, that's the only thing he had in his mind, was being an all-time hero and hitting him to Detroit. Okay, I mean, we understand that. But I don't love the bunt there with a lefty batter up with the hole to shoot at speed on the base paths. I figure if I hit a ground ball to the right side and I have some speed in the box and some speed on the bases, I'm not going to get doubled up anyway, so I can move the runners maybe on an out and maybe get the ball through the infield without giving up the out. I only got 3 shots here. Now, the best thing you got going for you on a bunt is you got 2 guys coming up next to a singles hitter.
That's the
Reyes and LaDuca are both singles hitter, and a single ties the game. That's your best argument, is where the juxtaposition was of the batting order.
If that's Sean Green up there 2 on, I don't like giving out the way the outs either. And if that's Sean Green up there batting 6, batting for Valentin and Chavez, I don't bunt. But in that spot, Floyd can't move. He might hit into a double play. I understand you tell me he hits a lot of fly balls, but he hit a ground ball at first the other day in St. Louis. He hasn't played at all in this series. The guy can't. I love Floyd. He's a great guy. He can't move.
I knew you. I didn't even have to know.
You have to bunt in that situation.
When I saw Mrs. Met and everybody last night after the game, Billy and Artie, I said, I don't even have to hear. You don't have to tell me. They were sitting next to Dog. I said, you don't have to tell me. I know Dog won the bunt. They said he wanted the bunt. I said, I know Dog won. And Billy won the bunt. I said, I know Dog wanted the bunt. I don't even have to. I don't have to see Dog to know he wanted the bunt.
Sean Green, no. I mean, middle of the lineup, no. When you're bunting towards the top of the order,
and the bunt is a play there
you
that
have to bunt.
When I was sitting,
Roland made an error
when
in
I'm
the
sitting
game.
upstairs, fans were saying to me, "Mike, bunt," and I'm like, I don't love the bunt here. I can understand it. I don't love the bunt here, but hey, listen, I can't argue the bunt. The bunt's a very sound baseball play, especially with 2 single hitters coming up at the top of your lineup. Because then LaDuca doesn't have to play for a walk; he can play for single.
Right, and then Reyes doesn't hit the ball in a gap. They can just bloop a ball over short. Throw in the fact, Mike, that if he hits a ground ball, you might get a triple play, much less a double play.
LaDuca, who's a very smart baseball man, knew I need a walk here for this reason. A base hit doesn't tie the game up for me. So I need to walk to get Beltran up here. If I had 2, if it had been second and third and LaDuca up, he wouldn't have walked. He would have shot the ball to try and hit a base hit. Because he could get singles. But singles wouldn't have tied the game up at first and second. So he says, I got to get a walk and get Beltran to the plate. And maybe get the big fly, get the double. Reyes' at bat, you figured was going to be, even when Floyd was up, I thought Reyes' at bat was going to be the key to the inning because I thought Reyes would put the bat on the ball and maybe get a ball in a gap. And he did. He hit it right at Edmund. But, Dog, there is not a way in the world, I don't think that anybody could argue that the bunt there is not a sound. You're home, and you got two singles hitter coming up, top of the order.
And a guy who can't run.
Right. Well, you're not bunting him.
I know, but the bottom line is if he hits a ground ball, it's an automatic double play.
No, you're not going to bring Floyd up there. Maybe you put a Glavine up.
I'll put Woodward up.
Woodward up. Whoever their best bunter is. Whoever they deem their best bunter.
I don't want to put Glavine because with 2 strikes, then what are you going to do? At least with 2 strikes with Woodward, he can swing. I can't do that with Glavine.
Well, Glavine is a very good bunter, though.
Yeah, he might get the bunt. To me, and I was surprised at Woody. See, to me, what Woody was trying to do there, he was trying to pull a Bobby Thompson. He was trying to end with he had a magical year. They had all this karma going. He figured he can put Floyd up there, maybe hit a 3-run homer. How many times in the history of baseball in that spot in a Game 7 do we have that? Once. Joe Carter did it in Game 6. One freaking time. You have to bunt in that spot.
I cannot argue the bunt. The bunt is a very sound play, no matter what. And I don't like giving up outs.
I don't either. But in that spot, I got a bunt.
But considering the situation with 1 and 2 coming up, 2 singles hitters, 2 300 hitting singles hitters, you got to, and I understand Reyes can get extra base hits, but that's fine. That's icing on the cake if he gets extra base hits.
You need a base hit there.
You need a base hit. Yeah. See, LaDuca couldn't help you there because he's not going to get an extra base hit there. He's going to get a single.
I forgot. You're right. He was looking for a walk.
Because the walk was the smart play for LaDuca. Because he needed to get Beltran up because he couldn't do what he needed. If it had been second and third, LaDuca would have said, I'm taking this in my own hands.
Base hit the right.